What secrets can a single photograph hold? A family portrait from 1889 looks ordinary. But what if a hidden symbol in plain sight has been lost for centuries? Could this forgotten emblem reveal a secret society erased from history? Why did this family vanish without a trace right after the photo was taken? And what truths lie buried beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered? Join us as we dive into a mystery that blurs the line between fact and legend. One photograph, one lost symbol, and a story still unfinished. If you want to follow real stories that defy time and reveal hidden truths, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our investigations. In a quiet, forgotten corner of a historical society's archive in rural Pennsylvania, a family portrait dated 1889 lay hidden among thousands of other black and white photographs. At first glance, the image seemed utterly ordinary. A stoic father, a reserved mother, and 3 children arranged in a stiff pose characteristic of the late 19th century. The family wore modest, dark clothing, no jewelry or embellishments beyond what was typical for the time. The aged photograph, slightly faded with the passage of more than a century, bore the inscription "Unknown Family, 1889" on its back, a label that had deterred deeper curiosity for decades. When the society launched a project to digitize its entire collection, the portrait was scanned alongside hundreds of others. It was intended to be just another piece of the past, a snapshot of anonymous lives caught in time. But as digital tools allowed archivists to zoom into minute details invisible to the naked eye, something peculiar began to emerge from the shadows of the image. The family's apparent normalcy masked a subtle, almost imperceptible detail that would ignite a mystery extending far beyond the photograph's frame. As the archivists pored over the image's finer points, they noticed an unusual object held in the father's left hand. It was small and partially obscured by his fingers, but the clarity of the high-resolution scan revealed that it was neither a common accessory nor a trinket. The object seemed to be a medallion, its surface adorned with an intricate pattern that bore an unfamiliar design. The symbol's delicate lines and curves hinted at origins far older and more enigmatic than anyone had anticipated. Questions began to swirl. Why would a seemingly ordinary family in 1889 possess such a relic? Could this object be a clue? A remnant from a story lost to time? The photograph's serene surface had become a gateway to secrets buried for centuries. Secrets that would soon draw the attention of experts in fields ranging from history and archaeology to cryptology and symbology. As news of the discovery spread quietly through academic circles, anticipation grew. The medallion was more than a mere object. It was a thread connecting the past to a hidden narrative. Its presence in the photograph challenged accepted timelines and histories, suggesting that beneath the surface of a simple family portrait lay an unsettling enigma, waiting to be unraveled. The investigation was only just beginning, and what the photograph truly concealed was still far from clear. But the faded faces staring back from the sepia tones had inadvertently captured something extraordinary, a symbol lost to time, now rediscovered in the most unlikely of places. The discovery of the medallion hidden in the family portrait sent ripples through the small historical society. As digital archivists continued to examine the photograph at ever-increasing levels of magnification, what had once appeared as a simple, nondescript object revealed itself to be something much more intricate and unusual. The medallion, grasped delicately by the father's fingers, was engraved with a complex design that defied immediate recognition. At first, the shape seemed almost abstract, an arrangement of interlocking lines and curved shapes forming a symmetrical pattern. Yet, there was a sense of deliberate craftsmanship in its layout, a language of symbols encoded within the design. Unlike familiar emblems or family crests from the late 1800s, this medallion appeared to belong to an entirely different era, one shrouded in mystery and antiquity. Experts specializing in image analysis were brought in to assist. Using advanced enhancement tools, they isolated the medallion from the rest of the photo, sharpening details to reveal faint inscriptions along its edges. These markings, barely visible in the original, suggested the presence of a forgotten script, letters or runes from a language long lost to history. The question quickly became, what was this symbol, And why was it held so carefully by the man in the photograph? Further investigation revealed that the object was not a mere decorative piece or a typical heirloom. The medallion's design bore remarkable similarities to symbols associated with medieval secret societies, some of which had been erased from historical records due to their controversial beliefs and rituals. This raised unsettling questions about the origins of the family and their possible connections to esoteric knowledge passed down through generations. The moment of revelation came when a historian recognized the central motif, a looping, interwoven figure that closely resembled the seal of the third path, an emblem documented only in scattered manuscripts from the late Middle Ages. The seal was rumored to represent a clandestine order whose members were said to possess knowledge of forbidden rites and hidden wisdom. Legends surrounding this group spoke of their disappearance under mysterious circumstances, their history wiped clean by powerful forces seeking to suppress them. Why, then, would this symbol resurface in a modest 19th-century American family's photograph? The contradiction was striking. Historical records showed no indication that the family had ties to Europe or any secretive lineage. Their lives appeared unremarkable, bound by the rigid social norms of their rural community. Yet, the medallion suggested otherwise, an inheritance of secrecy, a hidden past etched into metal and preserved in the image for over a century. As the archivists continued to zoom, they discovered something else. Faint shadows around the edges of the medallion, almost imperceptible. Were these marks deliberate, part of a cipher embedded in the photograph itself? The deeper they looked, the more the photograph transformed from a mere relic of the past into a puzzle box, one that might unlock a story no historian had dared to tell. With the medallion's intricate design now clearer, experts from various fields converged to unravel its meaning. Specialists in medieval symbology, linguistics, and secret societies pored over detailed scans of the artifact, hoping to piece together the origin of the mysterious emblem. After weeks of painstaking research, the medallion was linked to a symbol almost entirely lost to modern memory, known as the seal of the third path. The seal appeared sporadically in late medieval manuscripts, often crudely redacted or censored, as if those who encountered it feared its implications. Descriptions describe the seal as belonging to a secretive order that flourished briefly in the 14th century before vanishing under suspicious circumstances. Unlike common religious or chivalric orders, the group's beliefs seemed to straddle the borders of orthodox faith and forbidden esoteric knowledge. Historical documents suggested the order was accused of heresy, practicing rituals that blurred the line between spirituality and the occult. Chronicles from the era spoke of rituals performed in shadowed forests and underground chambers, where symbols like the seal were etched into altars and worn as talismans. The order's followers reportedly sought a third path between salvation and damnation, one that promised enlightenment through dangerous knowledge, a path considered too perilous by the dominant church. The seal itself was a complex weave of lines that could be interpreted as a symbolic map or even a key to unlocking hidden texts. Its meaning, however, had been obscured by centuries of secrecy and deliberate suppression. The order's documents were destroyed or hidden, their members hunted, leaving behind only whispers and fragments. This scarcity of evidence gave rise to countless theories, some bordering on myth, about their true intentions and ultimate fate. The presence of the seal on the medallion found in the 1889 photograph raised profound questions. How did such a symbol, erased from history for centuries, end up in the hands of an American family in a small rural town? This anomaly did not align with any known patterns of migration or documented family history. Researchers hypothesized that the family might have been descendants or secret custodians of the order's legacy, quietly preserving their knowledge in plain sight. Alternatively, the medallion could have been a relic acquired through unknown means, perhaps traded, inherited, or even lost and later found by the family. The discovery prompted a deeper investigation into the family's background. Census records, property deeds, and local histories were scoured for clues. Oddly, the family's presence in the town seemed fleeting. Their name appeared for only a short period, with scant details recorded, and then vanished without explanation. It was as if they had been deliberately erased from the public record, mirroring the disappearance of the very order the symbol represented. As more layers of this mystery unfolded, the medallion became a focal point for historians and conspiracy theorists alike. Was it a key to uncovering lost knowledge, a token of an ancient battle between hidden powers, or a warning left behind by those who wished their secrets to remain buried? The seal of the third path remained enigmatic, a symbol both alluring and forbidding. Its reappearance challenged accepted narratives of history and faith, hinting at a shadowy undercurrent beneath the surface of the familiar past. The journey to understand it would lead through obscure archives, coded messages, and whispered legends, places where truth and myth intertwined, and where the line between history and conspiracy grew dangerously thin. As the medallion's symbolism became clearer, attention turned toward the family itself. Who were they, and how had this emblem, lost to history for centuries, come into their possession? Public records offered little to illuminate their lives. Census data showed the family living quietly in a rural Pennsylvania town, their names etched on no notable documents beyond basic birth and death registries. There was no mention of wealth, travel, or connections abroad that could explain the presence of such a rare artifact. Yet, the photograph raised uncomfortable questions that history alone could not answer. Why did this family disappear from official records just a year after the photograph was taken? In the 1890 census, their names were conspicuously absent. Local newspapers offered only vague references. Neighbors recalled a family who left suddenly, leaving behind a home emptied of belongings, but somehow leaving this photograph untouched. The town's oral histories added an eerie layer. Elders whispered of strange noises and flickering lights around the family's farmhouse in the months before their departure. Some spoke of unexplained illnesses affecting the children, while others hinted at shadowy visitors seen late at night. None of these stories had been recorded officially. Dismissed as superstition or the imaginings of an isolated community, genealogists attempting to trace the family's lineage hit a wall. The surname appeared common enough, yet no clear ancestry connected them to any known historical line associated with the seal's origins. It was as if the family emerged briefly from nowhere, carrying with them a legacy shrouded in secrecy. Some historians speculated that the medallion might have been a carefully concealed heirloom passed down through generations in secret, never meant to be public. If true, this suggested the family could have been guardians of knowledge, protectors of a forbidden history. But why reveal it in a single photograph? Other theories were darker. Could the family have been involved in occult practices, their disappearance linked to rituals connected to the seal's power? The abrupt vanishing might hint at internal strife, or worse, a forced exile. Further mystery lay in the photograph itself. The medallion was the only clue left behind. Other possessions vanished, personal letters destroyed or never found. The image seemed intentionally preserved, perhaps as a silent testimony. Did someone in the family hope this symbol would be discovered in the future? A message encoded for those who knew where and how to look. Modern investigators face the daunting task of piecing together fragments from nearly 140 years ago. Every answer bred new questions, deepening the enigma. The photograph had become a window into a story both intimate and monumental, a family caught between forgotten history and a secret too dangerous to reveal. As scholars debated, a broader unease spread. The medallion was no longer just an artifact. It was a symbol of vanished worlds, lost beliefs, and histories that powerful forces might still want hidden. The quest to understand the family's true nature and the medallion's significance was far from over, and the shadows of the past grew longer with every discovery. Despite exhaustive research and countless inquiries, the fate of the family and the medallion remains an enigma. The photograph stands as the last tangible trace of their existence, a haunting reminder of a story suspended between history and mystery. Neither official records nor folklore provide a definitive answer about what happened to them after 1889. They seemingly vanished without a trace, swallowed by time and silence. The medallion, too, has disappeared. No known artifact matching its description has surfaced in any museum or private collection. It is as if the object vanished along with its owners, locked away or lost in the shadowy folds of history. The secrecy surrounding the symbol deepens the sense of unease. Was the photograph a warning, a cryptic message left intentionally to caution or challenge future generations. Some scholars propose the medallion was a key, metaphorically or literally, to hidden knowledge or a concealed realm of understanding. Perhaps the family's sudden disappearance was linked to their possession of this forbidden wisdom, a price paid for tampering with forces beyond their comprehension. Others suggest darker possibilities: exile imposed by unseen powers, or the family's own deliberate retreat into obscurity to protect secrets too dangerous to reveal. Local legend has since grown around the family's tale. Stories of ghostly figures glimpsed near their former home, strange symbols carved into nearby trees, and unexplained phenomena continue to circulate. These accounts blur the line between history and myth, casting a spectral light on the family's brief presence in the town. Whether fact or fiction, they preserve the memory of a mystery that refuses to fade. The photograph itself has taken on a symbolic weight. It invites viewers to look closer, to question what lies beneath the surface of the visible world. It reminds us that history is never complete and that some truths remain hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who dare to seek them. The seal of the third path, lost for centuries and suddenly reappearing in this family's possession, challenges our understanding of the past. It opens a door to a world of secret societies, forbidden knowledge, and forgotten rituals, realities that coexist alongside the accepted narratives of history. In the end, the story remains unfinished. The family's legacy, the meaning of the medallion, and the secrets encoded in that fading photograph continue to haunt the present. They beckon us to delve deeper, to embrace uncertainty, and to confront the shadows that lurk just beyond the edges of our knowledge. Perhaps some mysteries are meant to remain unresolved, their power residing in the very ambiguity they create. The family from 1889, their lost symbol, and the vanished past they represent remain an open question, an invitation to explore the delicate boundary between history, myth, and the unknown.